Hi, everybody. My name's Rich Montbriand. I'm with Leatrio, and I'm the Chief Revenue Officer, and I'm joined by Connor today, and we're going to talk to you about how to accelerate developer velocity with Backstage self-service capabilities. Connor, would you mind introducing yourself to everybody?
Yeah, of course, Rich. Hi, everyone. My name is Connor Mulligan. I'm a senior DevOps engineer here at Leatrio, and I've been kind of past year and a half here, been working on our internal Backstage portal and at our clients, various clients, helping them with their developer portal and accelerating developers.
Outstanding. So, what we're going to talk about today is a very quick snapshot on Leatrio's view on digital value creation, how Backstage accelerates value for our clients. That's what's most important. We'll do a live demo and show you how Backstage works and its impact. And then lastly, we'll kind of take you through some of that self-service development and workflow automation, and then how it really affects you and how you can incorporate it in your business and how Leatrio works with clients. So without further ado, let me just quickly start with who is Leatrio? Why are we here? So at Leatrio, we believe our mission is really to help enterprises accelerate and mature their software delivery systems. We help work within your existing tool set, process and culture. We eliminate waste, increase efficiency, and really help you drive total velocity when you create digital value. And our only goal, our primary goal, is help you be successful using your existing platforms, your technologies. And we really work hard to enable platform engineering, application modernization, and AI-led engineering. At the top of this chart kind of shows kind of a general process and methodology. We typically start with value stream mapping, which helps align culture, process, and total points of view and areas to work on to take out waste and increase efficiency. We do a lot of platform build work. We do a lot of work with AutoGov, platform management, and then dojos for ongoing, micro VSMs to keep your culture moving as quickly and rapidly as possible. And that's all underwritten by AI-led engineering. We don't have time to talk about that today. We're going to today focus on, how do you implement an IDP and what does Backstage do for you and how it can help. So what we hear from most of our customers, and I hope this hits on some of the challenges that you're facing, is one, it's hard to deliver meaningful and business value from day one when talking about doing application developing and throwing it out to infrastructure, either on-prem or the cloud. Self-serve models, everybody, all I have to do is code. I want to reduce dependencies on platform teams. I don't want to worry about anything else other than creating my code. We want easy and fast development package onboarding. We don't want to deal with all that mess and the wait times that go into that. I want standardized workflows, and I need instant dev environments that without having to adapt my ways of work to any of the new development tooling or adaptation, all that friction that comes with new environments, new process, new security models, et cetera. So I think we've got a better way to pave that road so your developers can focus on doing what they do best, which is creating new features, creating new business value, and coding. Really, it's all about going from months to create digital value, which is the creation of software, to less than an hour, to literally minutes. And we'll talk about the how with Connor here. So Connor, why don't I just get out of everybody's way and your way and turn the keys to the car over to you? If you wouldn't mind sharing your screen and take us through the
Beautiful.
1, 2, 3s of what you want to show.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Rich. With Backstage, we want to accelerate and help our developers as much as possible. So today I want to cover creating going from a template in Backstage to creating a fully fledged Go application, a getting started and keep going kit. And this application is ready to be deployed to dev and prod with what we believe at Leatrio an application should need, right? We should get GitHub workflows, CI. We should get local development. We should get tests. We should get manifests to deploy to our platform, all that good stuff. From there, I'd like to then take that application that we created via Backstage and deploy that to our internal platform, which will have the name of our KPV3 platform, which is our Kubernetes internal platform here at Leatrio. So without further ado, let me hop right in. Here's our Backstage instance. from here, as a developer, say I wanted to create a Go application. Perhaps I'm new or have been around for a bit, but haven't created a Go app before. From the home page, easily can see like, hey, I want to create an app. I'm going to click here. We have a few different selections here, but the one I'm going to focus on today is this Golang application, this Golang template to create a Golang application rather. So I'll go to create, and here we're met with a form. We just, from here, we can fill out some basic information, and then we're going to get a whole repository with all the goodies, everything we need to get our application to dev and prod. So from here, I'll just fill out, let's do, give it a service name, Connor Webinar 101. Here, I'll pass an owner. We're a GitHub house internally. So these Backstage teams you're seeing here map to GitHub teams. Here, I'll give an author just my Liatra email. And here, something really cool is we can throw in a Slack channel ID. This Slack channel will be used to send alerts from our different alerts from our KPV3 platform and down the line from Honeycomb.
Oh, that's really cool. That really helps collaboration, Connor. I like that.
Oh, it's awesome, Rich. And we can see like, hey, what's the state of our application? Not only just the state, like, hey, are the pods running? But we get a lot of telemetry from Honeycomb as well, observability. So I'll go ahead and click next here. I'll go ahead and give it a repo name. I'll just give it Connor Webinar 101. And here we get a review, and I'll do a create here. And this is running through some Backstage actions in the background, rendering our template, publishing this new repo to GitHub, adding a branch rule set, and registering it back to the Backstage catalog.
Well, that was really fast. How long does that normally take if I was going to do it on my own?
If you were to do it on your own, it would take some time, right? We're eliminating possibly, depending on the experience of the developer, a few days to possibly weeks of time, not only creating the Go application, but all the tangential stuff around it that's required to deploy your application to your platform. So a lot of time saved and a lot of manual steps taken out of the process. Okay, from here we can see kind of next steps laid out for us. And let's go to the repository that Backstage created for us. So here you can see Backstage created a whole Go application, Go repo for us. And this isn't just a single a repo with a main.go in it saying, hey, hello world. This is a fully fledged, ready to go to dev and prod in its current state application.
That's amazing. That would literally take me a very, very long time to get set up in my own environments.
Yeah, absolutely, Rich. And, if you think, especially if you're new to this, if you're new to Go, you're, maybe new to your organization and you don't know, hey, I'm going to have to talk to the platform team, or what's the doc? How do I get my app once it's written, which is a whole nother thing? How do I get it onto the platform? And Backstage does it.
Well, just getting the infrastructure provisioned and getting all the security stuff, just crazy. Yeah.
Exactly. So, we're taking where possibly you have to talk to many teams. Now we can make that service available and make it self-service. So from here, we can see we get GitHub workflows kicking off right off the bat, builds, tests, all the things needed for Go. Let that run in the background. We get here as well, you can see this manifest folder. This comes while the Backstage team has worked with our internal platform team to say like, hey, what do we need? What should every repo have to onboard to the platform? And we work with them. We need a base folder and some overlays for dev and prod. So here you can see on template creation, when the repo is created, we get all of that right out of the box, which is really nice, ready to be deployed to dev and prod. I'll go back here. Not only do we get manifest, but we get our Go application itself, which comes fully instrumented with open telemetry, something we believe in heavily here at Liatrio. You get traces right off the bat, ready to go, ready to be configured. Um, let's come back here. And not only are you getting the manifest to get to the platform, you're getting you're getting a Go application, you're getting tests, you're getting performance testing via K6. We're also really trying to support local development and make that as easy as possible. So we include something called Tilt, which if you haven't seen before, it's a really sweet local development tool where we can use our already predefining manifests, and we can deploy that locally to a Kubernetes environment locally to really accelerate the developer lifecycle and get your changes into dev and prod even faster, because what you have locally maps for the most part closely to dev and prod. So there is the Go application itself, created from a Backstage template. And one thing I want to call out here, Rich, and everybody, right? This is not just a basic hello world where a dev would then have to, okay, I got that, but what are the next steps, right? How do I keep this going? We want to really accelerate developers, get them rocking and rolling.
So you're saying we basically have a full functionality, almost anything I want to do, not just the basic, wiring to get going. Yeah.
Exactly. From here, let's say, okay, Backstage has created this repo for me. All right, I've been doing some Go development. Cool. Now comes the next part, right? Like, as a developer, it can be difficult sometimes to get your stuff into the platform. So with Backstage, we can work and have a partnership, kind of keyword there, and work with our platform team to get their services, their product available to their customers, which are other developers. So from here, I'd like to onboard our app to our internal platform, which we can do with another template here, which is laid out in these steps here. I'll venture there. So a couple things. We need to run a prerequisite step here of just adding our new repository to a GitHub app. So I'll do that here. Let's get this authenticated.
Yeah, this is usually where I get stuck, but keep going. The logons can be hard.
I know I've got lucky not having to use GitHub Mobile. They've used the password, which is nice. So here we can see there's that repo I just created. We'll go ahead and save that. Beautiful. So prereq is done. That step previously would have been reach out to the KPV3 team and work with them. Now you can self-service that.
Maybe create a ticket and wait for the ticket to go
exactly.
through whatever process, Jira or whatever the ticketing system is, or ServiceNow, and be frustrated and then I'm in wait mode.
Exactly. And you can see how simple the step is, right? But with process and everything, it could take days or weeks even to get that approved. So from here, again, we see another form. I'm going to fill out, give it a team name. I'm going to look for that repo I created. If I can spell my name here, geez. Webinar 101, beautiful. I'll select the environment I want to deploy in. Here, I'll select dev first. Namespace, we can create a new namespace. Let's give it, I'll just create a new namespace with the app name. Select create new namespace, application name, we'll give it that. And here we will give it a upstream URL to point to for those different manifest folders I showed you. So we won't pass in prod, we'll pass in dev. And if we go back to our repo, give it a refresh, we can see our workflows have succeeded and we got a release on the repo itself. Yeah.
I like that you're doing this live and it's not like pre-canned like a lot of these webinars.
Oh,
I really appreciate your daredevil approach.
Of course, that's what we're all about here at the Atrio. I hope I didn't just jinx it though. We'll see if anything breaks here. But we can see we got a release now, and we can tag, we can give that image, which I believe was 0.1.0. Let me give this a quick once over. Webinar 101 Git, manifest, overlays our dev, and the right version. We'll go to review, and we'll do create. As you can see at the top of this, these are all manual steps that had to be done. There was automation in the background for these previously, but it required, hey, as an app dev, I need to reach out to this team, say, hey, I created this repo, who can help me get it onboarded, right? And there was a back and forth, and days and a week could go by. And this can be even longer at our enterprise clients as well. We've seen upwards of 6 weeks, right, months to get onto a platform, get all the infrastructure necessary, and get your application up there. So we're taking.
So walk me through what's going on in the background, right? So you just said a lot of words, right? We're taking months and shrinking them down to whatever this time's out in, and we only have 30 minutes for this webinar. Is this going to be done?
Yeah, absolutely. This will be real quick. It'll be, it takes about a minute here to fetch the repo. So what this is doing, Backstage in the background uses this thing called a scaffolder, and it has Backstage actions that are actually running your templated code. And what we're doing here in the background, we fetch a repo. We fetch a skeleton, which has kind of the necessary files we want to templatize and then add to a PR, which we'll show. Then we go through and create a couple things here, right? We create an app level. I can show this in the PR as well. But you can see the main chunk here took about a minute just to fetch the repo because it is a mono repo. So it does take a hot sec. But you can see once we get that, it's super quick.
That's amazing.
And we can see here, again, we get kind of a summary of actions, what to do next. And let's venture to this PR here. So what I opened here, this K8's Platform v3 mono repo, is our Liatro internal platform on Kubernetes. So what Backstage has done is it's created a pull request with everything the platform team requires an application to have to get onboarded to their platform. So again, this is where I want to emphasize where the Backstage team really partners with the platform teams and app teams and kind of bridges those gaps so we can really help our customers, which are developers. So we partnered with the platform team, and you can see we're creating several things here. We're creating customized files. We're adding namespaces, creating namespaces, adding net policies, labels, all this stuff that would have taken manual intervention, back and forth between teams, and kind of a loop, a reoccurring loop there of feedback between teams. So eliminating a lot of manual toil.
That's amazing how short that was. Now I could hear, and I could almost hear some people who might be tuning into this thinking, does this come out of the box? How do I get this? This is amazing. These templates, what are you showing us?
Yeah, so templates come out of the box with Backstage. So if I come back, let me move here. We'll wait for those workflows to run. Out of the box, you get the catalog, docs, and this create. Templates come right out of the box, and I can show this real quick here. If I go to this app onboarding template, we can see here's that template, right? Just a YAML file at the end of the day. We specify a Backstage scaffolder as the API version. We specify a template kind, give it some metadata. And here we can see, hey, the spec is where all the good stuff happens. We give it parameters like title, all that good stuff that we're actually seeing. If I choose here, let's go next. We can see that's maps one-to-one to what we're seeing in the UI and in the forms. That's the parameters section. And then this steps, Rich, is where all the heavy lifting comes from, all the templating comes from. Backstage gives us a lot of what are called Backstage actions out of the box. So you can see here action fetch plain, fetch template, some other ones come out of the box that allow you to do different things. And there's a very robust community around this. You can see, hey, we're using a roadie specific action to do certain things. So not only do you get a lot out of the box, but there's a robust community around custom actions that you can include to your Backstage instance. So there's a lot you can do right out of the box.
And what's kind of the Liatrio special sauce here, for lack of a better phrase?
What we're passionate about is truly making the developer experience better. We don't want Backstage to become, right, especially kind of in this world of DevOps and the amount of tools and overhead developers have to know and get used to and work with on a day to day. We don't want Backstage to turn into that for where developers like, okay, I have to come to yet another thing and work with this. I kind of think what we specialize in, right, is we want this to give immediate value to customers, and we treat developers as our customers. We want to partner with teams, help build out their templates, help get those services out to the customers, which are developers. I think maybe where sometimes this is difficult for organizations is like the Backstage team does things in maybe a vacuum. I think what we bring is we bring that product customer mindset with Backstage to our customers and to their customers, developers, and whatnot, and different teams.
This is amazing, Connor. I really appreciate you taking some time. Anything else we want to go through before we wrap?
Yeah, I would love to show if we have time for it. I'd
Let's
love
do
to
it.
show merging this sucker in and seeing
Yeah.
it in dev so people can believe it. So I'm going to go ahead.
The real stuff.
Yeah, the real good stuff here. So let me go ahead and merge this in. We can see all test pass. We love that. Give it a quick second here. So I'll go back here. We can see this will run through a release. This should take about a minute. And then while that's running, let me open up our Argo instance here. And once this runs, it's going to deploy our application into Argo CD.
Oh, wow.
And I'd love to show all the resources you get, out of the box.
Yeah, I think everybody's interested in that. Yep.
Yeah. So give that one sec.
And how long would this process normally take if I didn't have the templates and have it all automated?
It would be, it could take days to weeks. Wow. I think. Kind of what we've seen at our clients, this historically takes a while, right? Because it's not self-service. You have to talk with the platform team. You have to understand their services. There's a lot of unknowns. So it's a lot of back and forth, kind of navigating a minefield. So we can see here, we just got that release. We'll go to Argo and let's search for we can see it deployed to Argo here. So it's syncing with our mono repo. And one thing I wanted to close on here is now we've deployed our application to dev. This has taken, 10 minutes to get there, minus all my yapping in between.
And mine too.
But as you can see here, we're not just getting a deployment with a pod, right? We're getting everything Liatrio wants with your application. We're getting GitHub notifications, Slack notifications. We're getting your service. We're getting FlagD, which is feature flagging, open source feature flagging service. We're getting an HTTP route. We're getting your replica sets. We are huge into observability. And not only from the template is your Go app instrumented already, ready to go, we deploy alongside your application an open telemetry collector, ready to go. you can see you don't have to do anything as a
Oh,
developer
wow.
to
So I
get
get
it
open
right up.
telemetry across my entire pipeline?
Exactly.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's ready to rock and roll. And
That's
it's
very unique.
waiting to
Wow.
receive traces from your application and send them to Honeycomb, which is our internal observability platform there, or application. Um, so yeah, and from here we could go to prod with the same template I showed earlier, um, and this can take 10 to 30 minutes, whereas it with our clients and what we've seen kind of historically, this is a really long process. So
Yeah.
Backstage helps a lot with that, and it's something I'm really passionate about.
Well, this is amazing, Connor. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking the time to roll through this so quickly. I mean, we've been on, for roughly 27 minutes, and I think, it's been like 16 minutes that you've done all this work that normally takes literally months. And why are we here, right? So Leatrio and Spotify inked a agreement to streamline developer experience for enterprises around the globe through Backstage back in February. And our goal is to really drive at a minimum of 76% increase in developer productivity. But more importantly, what we see is, we've got real world client experiences at Leatrio, and it's like, why are we even thinking, talking about this? And that's because as we drive this increase, our customers have seen, we've seen a major aerospace company that we've worked with get 76% increased development velocity. That's where that metric comes from. We've done a major North American telecom provider, and we've taken their deployment from literally from weeks to less than 10 minutes. And a global financial technology provider, we've had a 99% reduction in literal infrastructure lead time. Really interesting stuff. Totally interesting stuff. And so has that been kind of your experience when we work with clients? I mean, I know we just had a couple new clients this past week. How did that go?
It was wonderful. I mean, you can see the appetite for this. We were really passionate about giving them, treating them as the customer, right? Whereas Backstage really helps facilitate to do that. And from what I've seen, there is a ton of appetite for this because this is a pain point. Not only having starter kits and keep going kits, but you know, uh, uh, opening up the platform's services and making that as self-service as possible really helps developers. So, something we're really passionate about here, and it's been great working with this.
Well, I appreciate that. And one of the reasons why Backstage by Spotify chose Leatrio as one of their preferred partners on not only implementation, but complex, cultural alignment around this is we are a little bit different, right? We obviously deliver high velocity. We deliver a MVP, minimal viable platform, producing real software in 12 weeks, 4 to 12 weeks. We pair with our clients and we coach them so they can do it. We don't want to be there forever. We bring the tools and the recipes and all the methodologies like we just showed today, and we turn insights into actions very, very quickly. And the way we do that is across many, many customers, we average about 93.17% improvement in customer software build velocity, all things considered across the entire software build system that I don't want to bore everybody with, but it's not like we've done this like once or twice. We've done it across hundreds of clients. And a lot of this is driven from the Leatrio's Ignite playbook. And so I've included a URL, or not a URL, QR code that you can actually download. Any webinar participant, you can download the Ignite playbook and hear about what our thinking is on the product mindset. How do you get an empowered culture? How do you build technology excellence? And how do you do modern engineering practices, all in the pursuit of, building software faster, which is all about delivering digital value, which is all about delivering on business value for your clients. So look, if you've got questions, we want to be able to talk with you with our experts. You can talk with one of our Backstage experts, one of our engineering experts at any time. And we'll be more than happy to talk about your situation and how you can change it or modify it or create it. So Connor, I want to thank you so much for taking some time today. And
Thank you, Rich.
thank you for all the hard work you do with our clients and everybody else. Thank you for your time and joining. If we can do anything to help you, please give us a ring. We'd like to pair with you. Take care, everybody.